Yeah, I did actually. Been up there, yeah. Well, cheers. Oh. They made it a good watch for me when... Listen, I was looking forward to that game for lots of reasons, but I was also dreading it for not being able to be on the sideline, but they made it a good watch for me there. So, yeah, I thank them for that.
You showed both sides there, didn't you? Some balls and...
We had to be brave with and without the ball. Like, we still have to try and go after teams. We can't just sit on the edge of our box because we're playing a top side, so... We've still got to know we want to win the ball back high, so that takes bravery. But I think the most pleasing thing was the composure we showed on the ball throughout the game. And when we went with the team that we did, the centre backs had to take the ball because we had 4 really young midfielders who we might lose something playing them, but we also gain 4 good technicians who can handle the ball. So we had to play and we had to try and use them as much as possible in possession. So. Yeah, that's probably the most pleasing thing from start to finish, the way everyone just kept taking the ball.
Certainly got exposure from Illiman as well.
For his goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't expect anything else. I'm just pleased he's got his goal, you know. He's had opportunities in each of the games and things have dried up a little bit for him, but we still know what he brings us every single game. And he's probably shown a slightly different audience today what he can do with another top goal.
Do you think that's a sign of where his game is at right now, potentially, against that opposition?
Yeah, you're asking the right... Yes, I'm going to talk and sound as if I'm biased, but you know where I think Illiman can play. Illiman can do it against anyone. Handling the ball, tight areas at the top end of the pitch where the best players play, you know, or the best players do damage like that. He's got all that.
You know all about him, but with him only being up against championship opposition this season, that was his chance to actually show what he's up against in terms of elite level, you know, defenders, and the way that he beat 3 players and put them in the bottom corner, that was him showing his class, wasn't it?
Yeah. Listen, championship players you might get more opportunities from mistakes or this and but playing against championship players don't mean you handle the ball any better. Or he's unbelievable with the ball, and there's not many Premier League players can do what he does with the ball. You know, that is his standout quality, is his agility with the ball. He's added goals, he's added assists. Well, more and more. We still want more from him. But in terms of that ability handling the ball and the agility that he's got with that, there's not many can match that.
You made 8 changes, so you must have been delighted given the fact that you did put some young players in there, that they really did sort of take that opportunity and stand up against that level of opposition.
Yeah, it was important. Listen, I've been asked in the interviews prior now about changes and Saturday in mind. Yeah, of course, but it's not that as well. We had a real tough physical game against Watford here on Saturday, and to put the same 11 out would have been the wrong decision when we needed energy and freshness and everything to beat a top side today. So a lot of it was to get that type of performance that we got today, and we would have probably done at least one more if we could have. So yeah, it was about this game first and foremost. I've said we've in each of the cup games, with all 3 or 4 of them now, there's been opportunities where we may have dropped and gone out, or tough moments, but we've stood up to every one of them. Why? Because we want to win. Whoever's on the pitch, we want to win.
Blackburn up next at home. Reaction to that draw?
Home. That's what we wanted. So we've all just watched it, and yeah, when number 4 got pulled at home, we were delighted.
Paul, were you quietly pleased when you saw Kane when it started?
Say that again, sorry?
Were you quietly pleased when you realised Kane when it started?
Yeah, until then you realise how many goals Richarlison scored in the World Cup and for Brazil and all that. So, listen, I thought Kane would start. I thought he'd start. But listen, the one thing we know, though, with Spurs, we know how they're going to play. We know the dynamic of it. I think the one thing that we did well was limit the opportunities and chances. You know, so if Harry would have started, it'd have been, if we'd have put in the same performance, he would have been feeding on scraps. You know, he'd have had to produce something himself. He had that one moment at the end, which is the only time really that, you know, we were anxious, and as soon as that missed, that was a chance. So we knew that we'd won.
Spurs assistant said that his team surprisingly lacked energy. Did you notice that about their performance today? Energetic as maybe we were expecting?
No, listen. There's always a visual. Till you see the numbers, you can't, or I can't say. But listen, I was pleased with our energy. I was pleased with how we set up to stop them getting control. So even when they had the ball, we were happy where they had the ball. Do you know what I mean? And that sort of pans out that we can limit them getting in around our box and creating overloads. So yeah, I was really pleased, and that was from our energy, our hard work, our setup. So yeah, rather than comment on them, I'll just say we did play with energy. We played with the braveness without the ball, and we were brave to take it and compose when we did have the ball.
We've spoken midweek, haven't we, about wanting one of those nights, you know, another cup upset, a giant killing. How good did you enjoy that from the stands? Did you?
Yeah, not as much as I would have on the side. Yeah, not as much as I would have on the side. I enjoyed the performance. Performance was good, but I know it was a good atmosphere. I could hear it, feel it but it's different when you're on the side. That's why I love being on the side. So that's just me being selfish. There's only me suffers when in this situation. We still do the same prep. I'm still with the players right up until the first whistle, half time, full time. On the phone to the bench. There's only me who misses out. You know, that it's my punishment. It's me that should suffer.
How much does a win like that? Not that you need it because of the league form, you're going great, but how much does a win like that give you that little extra sort of spur and that little extra drive?
No, I think that today's for the fans. I think we spoke about it midweek, didn't we? Today, that win, it's for the fans because it's not season ticket holders who's turned up. You know, everyone's put their hand in the pocket to pay and come. We've had a top side come to Bramall Lane there, and we've managed to put on a good performance for the fans, and everyone's happy. And we've spoke, haven't we, about treating the league and the cup separate. We want to enjoy the league. There's a different intensity and tension that comes with it, and an anxiety. You know, when people come into Bramall Lane, we want to win. I think the cup's been a different feeling for everyone, and we want that. So we want to play with that freedom that how we want to play, but we still want to win. So our focus is the same, but certainly everyone around the game has a different feeling about it, and hopefully that can continue in the next round.
It can bleed though into results like that into a league campaign as well, can't it, in the right way?
Yeah, well, we're hoping it, but we're just treating it separate. We're just treating the games as separate, you know. Form's form, of course it is, but the preparation's the same all the time. There's a different feeling to the cup and the league. We know that, we understand that. And I think that's part and parcel about trying to get performances. There's a difference. I spoke at half time to the players. At some moment, this game's going to come alive, and we're going to have to be the ones who turn it into a cup tie. There was good football from us in the first half. We had a lot of control without the ball in terms of when Spurs had it. They weren't getting in around our box, so we were pleased. But I felt that to win the game, we needed it to come alive and turn it into a bit of a cup tie. And like I said, it's a different feel than in those games.
Can I just ask you about Andre as well?
Yeah, did great. Really pleased with him. Really pleased with him. Yeah, delighted with him. Delighted for him first and foremost. And listen, he's been in our academy since he was 9 years old or something. So yeah, it's a big day for him and his family. That first start against Spurs. So yeah, big day for him.
When did you tell him he was?
Yesterday when we did the team. Yeah.
His reaction was?
No, he don't give much away, Brooksy.
Did you not?
No. I left him alone after the team. I saw Jack go over to him and I saw big smiles and everything, but I left him alone until today.
A sign though of your belief in his, not only his ability, clearly that goes without saying, but also his personality, his character.
Yeah, I've worked with him, haven't I? So I know he's... Brooks is a talented player, handles the ball great. He just needs a framework to play in, like real clear instruction with him without the ball, and he'll do it. If you leave him alone, it just becomes too much of a free spirit, you know. So that's why I've got to trust him, because I've worked with him, and I know if he has got that framework to work within, he can do it.
Hey Paul, which Paul, just on George Baldock, he's got a good hour.
Yeah.
Belt this year, not played since January. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, please. That was a plan. Like I said, we wanted Jaden, but Jaden's ill as well. So the plan was, it was never going to go above 60. We were going to assess it at half time, but regardless, even though once we knew Jaden was out, we had young Si on the bench. Obviously, the other option was Lowy and switching Ozzy over, which we did. So we weren't going to take any risks, and we'll go above the hour with him.
Focus switches back to the Championship on Saturday, Blackburn, and will it be any kind of difficult task? You know, the players must be on cloud nine, mustn't they, right now? But you've got to refocus the mind.
I think that's important. Physically takes a lot out of you, again, but emotionally it does. And that's probably another. Listen, now we've won, it's done. But probably a good thing that we've got a lot of players who haven't exerted that same emotional energy as well. So, you know, regardless if we make, you know, a couple of changes back on Saturday, we'll be bringing people in who haven't suffered that. But we'll also have a lot of players out there who's been out there today who have. And that's going to be really important because there's not going to be much physically they can do between now and Saturday morning. So I think it is a case of getting information into them, of course, but more importantly, I think that focus and make sure everyone's level again and calm.
Big responsibility on Tommy Doyle today in that position. With no
Did great, yeah, he did great.
I thought it was superb. He showed, don't you sort of relish that responsibility? He was showing for the ball. He took it on, didn't he?
He did great, did fantastic, really pleased with him. And a bit, his role without the ball, again, one clear role without the ball. His job was to get on it, and he did great. And sometimes, listen, different setup of playing Spurs, and they like to, obviously, they might go and press on a negative pass, but generally then they drop in and look to deny space and then hit you on the break. But what that does, it means that if he's brave enough to get on the ball, he'll generally find space. They're not going to man mark him, they're not going to match us up man for man. So it allowed us to play through him, and then he became a spare man in midfield, and with Maka and the other two, we sort of outnumbered him a little bit. That's why we could keep the ball. What we didn't do first half, we'll get beyond that. So, but Tommy himself was really good.
How much can he take from that calibre of opposition that he's put in that type of performance against that team?
Yeah, well, listen, we've seen him play there. We've seen him play there, and that's one of the reasons we brought him in. We've predominantly used him as one of the wider ones or a bit higher up the pitch, because Ollie's been so good in there as well. But we know he can play that role if and when needed, and I think everyone will probably agree that he can now.
What's Brooks' qualities?
Handling the ball, calmness. He's got a goal in him. Listen, he's athletically good enough. You could see that today. A bit of cramp with that nervous energy that you get on your debut, but he can look after the ball. He's got the physical strength, and he's got moments of quality which, they just happen. But like I said, you could leave him on a pitch and wait for those moments, but you wouldn't have the best team. What he does do, if you give him that real clear role, he can perform a role, do a job out possession like you've seen today, and be in the right positions with the ball as well, and then your moments of quality come when they come.
What type of game are you expecting on Saturday? Because you've got two teams now going into that game off the back of
tough one,
really good
tough one. They've got we know they've got good players, real good attacking threat. They've won almost as many games as us in the Championship. They're dangerous, we know that. I think the interesting thing, and I speak to you all the time about the Championship, and I'm always giving you the usual lines, but they're a great example of why I always say it. They were up near the top, then everyone wrote them off, they finished, and now they're back fourth again, everyone's talking about them again. That's the Championship, it happens all the time. They've got good players, they can score goals. We're going to have to be good without the ball, and if we, as composed and as brave as we were with the ball today, then I'm sure we'll cause them problems as well.
I know you weren't there last time, but it was a performance